Hello Internet, my name is Xander Foster, and today I wanted to talk to you about gender dysphoria and how that is a changing part of my experience and the difference in my head between gender dysphoria and insecurities. For those who don't know, gender dysphoria is the disassociation or uncomfortability with one's assigned sex. So for me, I was born biologically female, and as soon as puberty hit and I started developing secondary sex characteristics, there was a dissonance that also developed between my brain and my body. It's hard to describe the feeling of gender dysphoria because there really isn't another feeling that I can compare it to. There's nothing that I've ever felt to that severity, and there's nothing that looks like gender dysphoria. To try to help you understand my experience with gender dysphoria, I want you to imagine that you're just getting out of bed in the morning, that you've just opened your eyes and you just stood up from your bed. And now imagine that you look down and you only have one arm. You look down and your left arm is there and your right arm is not. This is the only way I can think of explaining my experience with gender dysphoria. To me, it's that my brain knows what my body is. It's more than what it's supposed to look like, or what it's supposed to feel like, or what it's supposed to be. My brain knows what my body is. And in the example, it's that my brain knows my body is a body with two arms. I know that for a fact. And when I wake up in a body with one arm, my brain doesn't say, I'm missing an arm. My brain says, this is not my body. And so for years, when I got out of my bed in the morning and looked down and saw breasts, it wasn't my brain saying, these aren't supposed to be here. It wasn't my brain saying, there's something wrong. It was my brain saying, this isn't my body. One thing that I don't see people talk about is gender dysphoria, at least in my experience, is terrifying. It's scary to wake up and be in a body that your brain is telling you isn't yours is one of the scariest things I've ever felt. There's definitely an underlining sadness to my gender dysphoria. There's the feeling of this isn't me, this isn't the way things are supposed to be, this isn't fair. But the depression that came when my gender dysphoria was developing came from constantly living in fear. Waking up in a body that my brain tells me isn't mine is one of the scariest things I've ever had to deal with. And I've had to deal with it since I started puberty. One thing that many people have a hard time understanding is that my gender dysphoria has nothing to do with any other person. The fact that I'm uncomfortable with my physical being has nothing to do with what society says is male and what society says is female. If society told me that men have breasts, I would still be uncomfortable and crippled if I had breasts. It isn't that people are viewing me as female because of my physical body, or people are thinking I'm not a real man because of my physical body. My gender dysphoria is my brain says this is what I look like, this is my body, this is what my being is, and that's not manifesting. Now my insecurities are directly affected by what people say I should look like, what people say I should be, what people say men should look like or men should be. If society said that men have breasts, I may not be insecure with the fact that I have breasts, but I would still be very dysphoric about that fact. I had top surgery, a double incision bilateral mastectomy, the removal of my breast tissue, January 12th of this year, 2016, and it has been the biggest blessing One thing that has been a unexpected blessing is that because I had surgery and because testosterone is affecting my body, I'm finding insecurities outside of my gender dysphoria. I haven't had experience with insecurity much, simply because of the fact that gender dysphoria consumed me. To be able to look in the mirror and say, I have to get rid of this acne, or oh my god, I need a haircut, or oh my god, I'm getting fat, is a joyous experience. It's an interesting mix of emotions because I'm looking in the mirror and I'm insecure and I'm saying I have to get rid of this acne. But I also step back for a minute and say, I'm insecure about something that has nothing to do with my assigned sex. And to have an insecurity that cisgender people have, and to have an insecurity that has nothing to do with me being trans, is a joyous experience for me. And so to look in the mirror and say, I have to get rid of this acne, is both frustrating because I have to get rid of this acne, but also I get all giddy and excited because I have problems that aren't related to my trans status, which I can't explain why that's enjoyable. I'm not sure if this is going to make sense to anyone inside or outside of the trans community, but it's what I'm feeling right now and it's what I felt like sharing. So I hope someone got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's a topic you want me to cover, leave it in the comments. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, subscribe.